Check, check, 1, 2. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the Hohner YouTube channel. We are back with another episode of the Hohner Live interview series. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Please let us know from where you're tuning in. Also, check out the chat. Feel free to leave any questions. I'm super excited about this episode. This is episode 71, which is crazy. And I'm super happy that Jake agreed to join the Hohner Live because I'm a huge fan and I hope you'll be huge fans too after this. Jake is a go-to multi-instrumentalist on recordings and tours. He plays all different kinds of instruments and he's a fantastic harmonica player too. So yeah, very happy to have you on here. Thank you so much for taking the time.
Yeah, it's an honor to be here. Thank you.
So everybody, let us know if you have any questions. Just type them into the chat. We are happy to answer everything music and harmonica related, I guess.
Yep. Doesn't have to be harmonica, but it could be.
So yeah. So super happy that you're part of this. And yeah, obviously, I told you already, I'm a huge fan and did see your harmonica playing on Instagram at some point. And I mean, it's going to be interesting for us to get to know about your harmonica journey and how you got into it and how far you're connected, like with the harmonica scene.
All right.
So yeah, that's super interesting. But first of all, you're in New York right now, right?
Yep, I am in Brooklyn.
And most of the time, most of the musical education, that's the time you spent in Boston, right?
Yeah, I went to Berklee College in Boston. First, I went to New School in New York for 2 years and then transferred to Berklee. But I'm from Boston, and growing up there and playing at Wally's Jazz Cafe was a big part of my musical education, for sure.
Oh, yeah. So how did you get in touch with music then? I mean, Berklee College of Music, that's like the very official path. Like, I also studied music, but what was it like before? And how did you actually decide to, actually study music at a music school?
Before college? Well, I started getting serious about it probably in my early teens. There's a jazz scene for sure in Boston, especially among younger people.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, just being around people, kids who were serious from an early age, got me to sort of understand what it really means to devote yourself to something and practice with a goal in mind and a vision, and just hanging out with those kind of people pushed me forward.
Yeah, I feel like the thing is that there's like a lot of competition there, right?
Yeah, I mean, now it seems pretty small compared to New York, but yeah, and it didn't feel that competitive, I guess, when you're first learning. It just, there's so much to soak up. But yeah, it's mainly just about seeing people who are focused and understanding that it's not really an option to just sort of skate by, that you have to go for it fully.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, it only helps, I guess. And you probably didn't start out playing music on the harmonica, right? So what was your first instrument?
I'm mainly a piano player. I started that piano and organ. I started piano when I was 5 and got into organ when I was maybe 13 or 14. And yeah, all the other things I play are referencing piano. That's definitely how I see the world.
Oh yeah, I mean, that's an interesting question. Just think about the harmonica now. There are some harmonica players out there who visualize the keyboard while playing harmonica. Mm-hmm. Do you do that at all? Or did you ever think about doing that?
Yeah, that's definitely how it works in my head. I can't imagine not doing that.
Wow.
Because the button is like the black keys. It almost completely. There's obviously a couple things that you have to switch around, but I see it like keys, definitely, which makes it much easier to play. I do this thing where I play left-hand piano and right-hand harmonica, and it doesn't feel like that much of a split brain thing or a stretch. It just feels like they're part of the same thing.
The man with two brains. Yeah.
But no, it's one brain. That's what I'm saying.
Exactly. So, yeah, that's interesting. I mean, for everyone out there, and I guess I'm right that you play the chromatic harmonica most of the time, and you aren't too much of a diatonic harmonica player, are you?
No. The first harmonica I got was diatonic because I was into Howard Levy. You probably know him.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone.
How did you find out about him?
Because I was into Bela Fleck.
Yeah.
That was one of my first like jazz adjacent things that I was.
So why didn't you stick to the diatonic then?
Well, so I tried it for about 2 weeks. For those of you who don't know, Howard Levy plays diatonic harmonica chromatically. So he has figured out these like extended techniques to get every note out of a harmonica that really only has 8 notes, is it? Does the diatonic have 8 notes?
I mean, you can play the major scale in the middle octave, but...
So the octaves are different. Oh, that's messed up.
Yeah. It's completely unsymmetrical.
Sorry.
That's the problem. And you only have 5 notes in the lower octave.
Wow, I didn't realize that. Okay, well, that's even weirder than I thought. So can he play the chromatic scale in all octaves?
Oh, yeah. I can show that too.
Okay, so you're one of him.
Yeah, I mean, I studied with him for some time, yeah.
Oh, really? You really are one of him. Wow, crazy. So yeah, I was pretty young when that happened, maybe 14 or something. And I was like, okay, I'm going to figure this out. And then maybe
That's
2 weeks
interesting.
in.
That's like almost the same age when I started out with 13 or something.
Cool. Yeah, and pretty soon I realized, well, after like 2 weeks, I thought, well, I should at least be able to make all the notes. Maybe it's not like that because actually it takes a long time to do that. But it was way too frustrating. I just wanted to play melodies. And the fact that I had to maybe possibly spend years just figuring out how to make a sound on certain notes seemed impossible. So I got a chromatic soon after that, I guess.
And at that point, you were probably all very accomplished pianist already, so...
Well, I definitely like understood music from a pianistic point of view for sure. And yeah, I got a really bad harmonica. I think it was a Swan, maybe.
Oh,
Swan
yeah,
harmonica.
I see.
That had like crazy like air leaks and stuff. And I didn't really know what a good harmonica was, so I just played that. I guess I didn't play much at that age, but starting in college when I was 18, I would mess around on it and play standards and try to just really learn where all the notes were. And it wasn't until a few years later that I got a nicer one, and then it became clear what a nice one is. It allows you to bend notes, because the bad ones with the air leak, you can't really be expressive. But there is something to be said for learning on a really bad instrument, because then when you get a good one, it's just the best feeling in the world.
Yeah, that's true. So
that's the journey.
How did like other like friends of yours or like whatever musician friends, what did they think about you starting to play harmonica?
Well, I remember at New School, I would just go from practice room to practice room asking like the pianist and the guitarist to play one song with me. And I was playing some song in A. I would always choose a weird key so I could like figure it out. Maybe playing a blues in A, and someone said, "You should never play that again." And that was a very clear moment for me of like, oh, this is that moment where people tell you to stop and you have to keep going.
Okay.
So I worked more on A, and now I'm still not very good at it, but I'm definitely better than I was at A.
Yeah, A is not the easiest key. That's true. No. But yeah, I do remember one time we had like a Joni Mitchell project going on with the big band at the music school in Cologne where I started out studying. And there wasn't like amplification. There was only like a blues amp that I had to play through. And of course it didn't sound good, especially not in that context. And like some professor, some teacher at the school, like during the break, I never got to know him. Like, he was just like, "Oh, you were the guy playing harmonica there, right?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, of course." And he was like, "That sounded terrible." That's like the first thing he ever said to me.
Great.
And it did sound terrible. I mean, he was right. Like,
Yeah. Well, it's good to have honest people in your life.
true. Yeah. So, what was like? At which point did you know that you wanted to pursue music and go to a music school?
It was pretty early, probably when I was 14 or 15.
Okay.
I could already tell that most other things wouldn't work.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, I mean, and it's a more obvious path as a pianist too, right? So
And a
I guess that
harmonica.
was your main subject all through music
Yeah,
school.
I mean, it changed a lot. I wanted to be a jazz organist. That's mainly what I was doing in my teens and at the beginning of college. And then I sort of had a reckoning with it all while I was at New School, coming to terms with the fact that jazz wasn't really my true calling, I guess, or there was something different. Even if it was a big part of me, it wasn't
Oh yeah.
what I should be doing. So I transferred to Berkeley and started hanging out with songwriters and writing songs. And that's when I sort of started to discover what I really wanted to be doing, which was writing songs and singing.
Wow. That's interesting, that path. Like,
Yeah, it took a while to figure it out. Lots of missteps or just different steps along the way.
yeah, and it makes sense. Like, I mean, for me as a harmonica player, the path wasn't clear at all because, like, usually you can't study harmonica at a music school,
Right.
and then obviously, like, the only thing that you see online, like the other style of music that people play after blues, is
Mhm.
jazz.
Right.
And that's why I played jazz. That's why I learned all that stuff. Just
Mhm.
it was like, just because it was like the next step to improve on the instrument, not
Right.
because I fell in love with jazz. You know?
So that's an interesting reason. Probably not the best reason.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, I love improvising and
Mhm.
I love listening to some jazz still, but yeah, it wasn't like fun for me listening to Charlie Parker before going to school.
Hmm.
In my mind, it was like, oh, I gotta listen because I want to get better on the instrument. You know?
Right. Well, sometimes it takes a second to really understand something. And if you have like a mentor who tells you to do it, you just have to do it. And then eventually you realize, you see the light. That definitely happened to me in a lot of kinds of jazz.
Oh yeah.
I didn't love Charlie Parker either. And it took some time. And now, also like the recording quality makes it so that people who are unaccustomed to that sound, it sounds very abrasive, some of those recordings.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And it takes a minute to like see through that and really hear the music behind it.
Yeah, that's interesting. And yeah, after studying, like, you just told me that you moved back to New York like 7 years ago.
Something like that. Yeah.
So what was the reason for that? Was it like a musical decision? Was it about the music scene?
Mainly. It was a lot of my friends from Berkeley were moving to New York, so it just seemed like it didn't seem like an option to stay in Boston, my hometown, for forever. And New York is still on the East Coast and close, but it's where a lot of musicians are.
Yeah,
So it just felt like the next step.
that's good. And yeah, I told you already that I've been to New York once and checked out some concerts and jazz concerts. I think I saw some very, very early Joey Alexander shows when he
Okay,
was
cool.
very, very young, you know?
He was only 4 years old.
Yeah, when he was only 4 years old. Because there's also another harmonica player who was friends with him. He's from Indonesia, like, and they played together in Indonesia, like when they were 4, basically. And I just remember that we went to the concert, and like after the concert, I think we asked him what his favorite movie was or something, or like what his favorite TV show was.
Right.
and he was like, he likes to watch the news.
Okay. Cool. I could see him saying that.
So you've just been, I mean, that was later last year. You've been on a Europe tour
Yep.
almost by yourself, right?
It was by myself. Yeah. I met up with various people throughout the tour, but it was by myself.
So you've
Which
been
was
to Hamburg too. You played at the new jazz hall that was being built
Yes.
here.
That's right. That was one of the best shows. It was towards the end, so I had learned a lot about how I wanted the show to be. I started the tour playing mainly sort of. There's some like tech things that I would do, and maybe you could call them gimmicks or just fun things that would propel the show forward with electronics and things. And by the end, I was just playing piano and singing, and that felt way deeper in a lot of ways. So
Did you
it
play
took
harmonica at all? Did you play
Yes.
harmonica at jazz hall?
Yes, I think I did.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So I'm playing there again this October. So see you there.
So you might be like, yeah, you might have been the first harmonica player to play harmonica at jazz hall,
Wow.
and I was the
Cool.
second only.
You were the second, you said?
Yeah, I guess so.
Oh, cool. When did you play there?
I played there 2 months ago, and then again like 1 month ago.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah,
Second
like the
and
first
third.
one was only like a private event
Okay.
by the guy who actually like, yeah, paid for the whole thing, you know.
Gotcha.
And the other one was like part of the jazz hall opening festival. They had like 1 week of concerts, and I played there with my pianist, and yeah, China Moses played there too with a big band.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's a beautiful venue. Like, but you probably played in Hamburg before. Have you? How many times have you been to the city?
I don't know if I've played there under my own name before.
Okay.
This was my first time in Europe playing my own music. Well, that's not completely true, but my first like real tour playing my own music. I've been in Europe a bunch of times with other artists, playing piano, playing keys, and I don't know if I've played in Hamburg before, because it's all sort of a blur when you're playing with other people. You're just going. It's much easier to be conscious of exactly where you are and what's happening when you organize the tour yourself and are in charge of getting everywhere. It's a very different thing.
And traveling by yourself, probably. I mean, maybe you had a little more time to see some parts of the city. Or
No,
maybe
not really.
Yeah.
The Germany leg was very intense. It was like 6 shows in a row with no off days.
Yeah.
So, well, I stopped in Berlin for 2 days, but other than that, no, I didn't really see Hamburg. I taught a master class that day in the jazz hall, so
Okay.
that was nice. And then we went to get dinner at some pizza place that you probably know. It was a little farther than we meant it to be, so I had to get the pizza wrapped up and run back and do the show.
Oh, was it the Mama place?
I don't recognize that name. I don't know.
Okay,
It's a
yeah.
sit down spot with pizza.
Yeah. Could be it.
We might have taken a bus, and then I took a car back. That
Oh,
seems
okay.
right. Yeah. Anyway, that's what I saw in Hamburg.
And did you get to know Wolf Kerschek?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. Because like he's
I got
leading
to
the whole jazz department.
Okay. Josh was my.
He should have been
contact.
there. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he was, and I don't remember him, but
He usually wears these orange glasses and has long hair and
let me see if I have any of those. These.
clothes.
So yeah, I don't know. I don't think I met him. Yeah, but hopefully this year I'll be able to.
Yeah. So you're coming back to Europe. Where can people check out tour dates and stuff?
That's going to be announced in a bit.
Okay.
Yeah, probably in a month or so. I'm about to have a U.S. tour, which also is not announced, but I'll announce that next week, I think. So if you guys want to follow along, probably Instagram is the best place to keep up to date. with where
Yeah.
I'll be.
It's the best place. Check out the video
Best place,
description.
guys.
Oh, have you been starting to get on TikTok too?
Yeah, sort of, but I'm not really fully embracing it. I'm just posting the same videos that I post on
Yeah.
Instagram. Because Instagram's the best place.
We just had Hohner live with a harmonica player. He's like big on TikTok. That was last month, I guess. And
Who is
he's
it?
always playing along. His name is Isaac Corbett. He's always playing along, doing these duet videos with drummers. And he has like, well,
Just playing
crazy
really
amounts
fast?
of views. Just playing very fast and bluesy and
Cool.
very-
Oh,
very articulate playing.
does he play diatonic?
He plays diatonic, yeah.
And he plays chromatically on it?
Probably he can, but that's not what he does.
He does. Okay.
Yeah.
So he just goes and moves it around.
A bit more controlled. But he has like videos up there with like 4 million views or something.
Nice. Go harmonica.
It's pretty good. Yeah, and like the harmonica scene didn't really know about him.
Oh, wow. Why? Do they think he's a sellout because he's famous on TikTok?
No, like just because harmonica players aren't hanging out on TikTok yet, I guess.
Where are they? In the newspaper.
I don't know, like maybe
Where
like
do
some
they
of
hang
the
out?
older ones are still hanging out on Facebook. But of course,
Yeah.
like there are.
Yeah, Facebook seems bigger in Europe. Like when I did the Europe tour, I had to be dealing with Facebook, whereas
Okay.
in the US, like not a thing at all anymore.
But then, like most of the harmonica players from Iran, they are on Instagram because I think Facebook is banned there. Yeah.
Oh wow! Even though they're run by the same company. Interesting.
So for people out there, maybe they can't imagine like how do you split up your work? You do produce music and you do sing and you play piano and you play harmonica. Like, what do you actually do during a day for people out there?
Yeah, that depends a lot. I mean, it's basically determined by deadlines, what I have to finish when.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm preparing for the U.S. tour. I'm trying to add some repertoire to the show, just in case people have come to the other tours, they might want to see something new. So, also, it's just healthy to not play the same stuff over and over. So yeah, I have a couple new songs that I'm working on, and then a couple covers. And it takes me a really long time to memorize lyrics. So when I'm preparing for something, I have to play the song over and over again. So that's the biggest preparation. Really get inside the song and learn every moment of it until it feels like something that is part of me that I can just express in any way that I want rather than one specific way.
I see.
So that's the main thing that's going on right now. I've had some production things that I'm doing also, but trying to fit those in so that I can just mainly work on getting this stuff together for the tour.
Yeah.
Some of the tour is going to have this sort of one-man band setup that I do sometimes, where I have a hi-hat and a bass drum and a key bass on my left hand, so, and the regular keys here. So it's a lot of, that is sort of like splitting up your brain. And it feels a bit like organ, which is something I grew up playing. So it's not that foreign to me, but it takes a lot of time to feel very comfortable with it so that it doesn't feel like a circus act, you know, and it feels more like just something that I'm just, it has to feel so easy that I can sing while doing it. So that just takes a lot of time with both the lyrics and song structure and just getting accustomed to all different ways that I can utilize it.
So when did you start out singing? Was that something that felt naturally for you from the beginning on, or?
Not really. I guess, well, I sang in like a children's choir when I was young, and then I stopped singing altogether from the age of like 11 to 18 or something in those formative years because it's not cool to be a young man singing. You have
It's
to
true.
really, yeah, like kudos to all those people who managed to make it through those years and continue singing, because it's really, it's hard to find your voice, and it's very
Isn't cool to
embarrassing.
play harmonica at that age either.
Well, it's less like when you're singing, it's just your voice.
Yeah, it's like
It's,
even more direct.
it's extremely direct, and if you haven't found exactly you want to sound, it just takes a long time to find how you want to sound, and before you found it, everything you do is embarrassing. And I am sort of glad that there's no like videos of me singing at that time, because I didn't sing at all. Um, but I started writing songs for this kind of music when I was, I guess, 20. So it was around then that I started singing, but it wasn't until a few years later that I really started to realize that I had to play it live. At the beginning, it was just sort of like a side project to have fun with while I played jazz in public. So I didn't worry about the singing that much. And it was only later that when I started to sing live, it sort of became apparent that you have to be really good at singing to sing live. Or else, yeah, it's possible to be not very good at singing and still make good albums, but it's not possible
Yeah.
to sing live.
But you
unless
can
you're really
still develop, even if you sound bad on stage in the beginning. Like,
good. Yes, but
I mean,
it doesn't.
I'm a huge fan, but like I'm following him for a long time. And if you check out some of the very, very early, like, audience filmed videos of Thundercat singing, compared to how he sings now, wow,
Yeah.
he's so
Well,
good now.
I feel the same about myself. There's a lot of things out there that I really couldn't sing at all yet. And it's just very recently that I feel like more confident in how I sing. Um, I've been working at it for a while, but I only really got serious like a few years ago, really, when I started like having better shows and having tours. My first real tour was 3 years ago, maybe 2 years ago. And leading up to that was when I really made the decision that like, this is what I have to put all my focus into now, because it's not an option to suck anymore. It's been too long.
Yeah, that's just an interesting question because yeah, I'm not singing either. Like I had some singing lessons at school too, at music school, but I never like took it out to public. Especially not in front of people who know me.
Yep, that's another thing.
So the very few times that I actually sang was always in a different country.
That's cool. That's something I do love about tour, is that when you're somewhere where you don't know anyone, it's like a real chance to reinvent yourself.
Yeah.
Or maybe put on a character that's a bit farther than you've ever taken it before and see how long you can exist there.
Definitely. Because you know there are these harmonica festivals in Asia, in China, and it's traveling through the countries. And there's another one in South Korea. And yeah, like in the last few years, I always played pop music only over there and sang some of my own pop songs. And
Cool.
I didn't care over there, but I would never do it here.
Right.
Never ever.
Well, if you had enough gigs over there, you could probably figure some stuff out and then bring it back.
And I mean, of course, at a harmonica festival over there, if you just start singing, when everybody plays harmonica only, you're celebrated like a pop star at the harmonica festival,
Cool.
which is kind of funny.
Yeah, people like different.
So people always ask us to play a lot of harmonica during these live streams. So
Okay.
maybe you can give us a little taste of your one brain, two instrument show.
Okay, sure. We'll see if the piano is loud enough. Actually, you know what? I think I can turn it up. 1 second.
And it's always hard to like play together on stream. Like the only thing I sometimes did was like just trading choruses and stuff like that.
Right. Yeah, because there's a delay. So How could that work? What kind of thing would you want to play?
Oh, I'm not sure. Maybe you can start out with
playing,
something and we can do something else in the end together.
Okay. So here's a question. Which audio are the people hearing? Your audio or mine?
Oh, people are hearing your audio. Yeah.
Like what I mean is, if I'm playing and you're playing with me, are they going to hear it correctly or wrong?
Oh, they're probably going to hear it wrong. Yeah.
Okay. That's too bad. Because that could have been cool. Like, I could just play in time and not listen to you, and then you could play.
Yeah, I think
Yes, I know.
that's the thing that you could do on Instagram. That's what Jacob Collier did.
Yeah, exactly.
Because then it's like only the audio is only coming from one side. And then if
Right.
you just keep time without listening to the other person, basically, then it will be in time for everybody else watching.
Right. Yeah, but that's not going to work, I guess, because they're hearing my audio, unless you're going to play piano.
Oh, sorry, say that again?
If you're going to play piano, then I could play harmonica with you, and that could work. But I guess you probably don't have a piano there.
Yeah, that wouldn't work either, I guess.
Why? If they're hearing my audio, it would work.
Oh no, they're hearing my audio from this microphone and your audio from the internal computer recording.
Okay, I'm confused now. Well, we could try it. Why don't we play? Well, how will we know? Okay, here's another question. How long of a delay is there on the YouTube? Could we play and then watch it?
Oh yeah, I think so.
Okay.
A little delay. It's long enough to check if we're in time and stuff.
Okay. Let's play blues in G. You play harmonica, I play piano.
Okay.
Okay, let's check. Quick, check. Okay, let's check. Quick, check. Yeah, it worked.
It's in time.
Yeah, great. Okay, so this is good. Nice.
I wish I could hear the
Really?
piano a little better.
Okay, I can just turn it up.
If you could turn it up, yeah.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
obviously
you really
it's not
played
in
up.
time for you, right?
No, it was. That's what I don't get. It sounded like that. It sounded right.
Okay.
I'm not sure how that's working, but cool. Okay, what should we do now? Should we play more of that? Because that was great.
Yeah. Or, I mean, it can be a little jazzier. We can also play jazz standard, whatever.
Okay, cool. Let's play jazz standard.
Okay.
What's one that you like?
What's a jazz standard that I like? We could just play There Will Never Be Another You or something like that.
Okay.
Okay.
It's not in time for me, is it for you?
Not really. It kind of worked. I
Perfect.
hope so. Wow, can you hear all that white noise?
Yeah, what's going on? All right, that's the end. What is that?
Where's the white noise coming from? We're like in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean
We're
right now.
we're in an airplane.
I don't know where it's coming from. Seems to get louder.
It's help. Okay, let's see.
Where's it coming from?
It's coming from mine. I'm gonna mute for a second.
Oh, it's gone. It's gone.
Check. Yep. All right.
What
That was
happened?
my mic. I think it was feedback, but I don't know why it would have been white noise when it was feedback.
Interesting.
Thank you very much, everyone. There will never be another you.
Very interesting outro.
Yeah. It's a little tune we've been working on.
So yeah, I'm scared to check that out after the stream.
Yeah.
But I guess it was in time, kind of.
Yeah, you were delayed for me, for sure.
Oh yeah, but like for the people out there, like
If they're getting your feed, then it should have been in time. Until the white noise took over.
yeah, I mean Miles wrote, "Damn, that's some great harmonica playing. The timing got better at the end."
He wrote the first comment during the blues. I saw him say that. But yeah, all right, we did what we could.
Very true. Yeah, yeah, we have to do that in person again.
Yes. Yes, no white noise in person.
Oh, Miles is also asking, any chance you'll be able to play Dig Deeper on the next tour?
Yeah, probably not. That's one of my songs.
That's an honest
yeah, I've struggled with
answer.
that one. It's actually, what do you say?
That's an honest answer.
What do you say?
That's an honest answer,
gotta be
yeah.
honest. It is probably the hardest song for me to sing out of all my songs. And yeah, I've had it in the set a lot over the past few years and always felt just not fully able to convey what it's trying to say. So I've decided not to play it anymore. So that's what's up with that.
Okay, yeah.
But thanks for asking, and I appreciate that you like it, Miles.
So, talking about harmonica, because we're on a harmonica live stream.
Right. That.
Are there any harmonica players that you listen to right now, or some people that you discovered lately, or?
I guess I'm not too deep in the scene, but
Yeah.
Steelman's is the one that did it for me. He's always my go-to with tone and vocabulary. So yeah, he's still everything. Him and of course Stevie are my go-to. But Stevie is very it's way harder for me to like understand how it works. Like the high notes, his tone is just crazy.
Yeah.
It must have to do with breath control because like obviously the way he sings also.
Yeah, he's bending many of the notes, and I think his harmonicas are tuned a little higher.
Really?
So he basically has to bend all of the notes to get his sound.
What do you mean?
Yeah, so it's like definitely not tuned to 440 or 442, but higher.
Oh, like slightly out of tune.
Yeah.
Sharp. Oh, wow.
So he bends into every note basically.
Okay, cool. But yeah, he just plays really high notes and he sings really high notes. And I'm not able to make a good tone on those notes, so I tend to play lower. But that's also just because I haven't put in the time. But I am excited to try to understand how that works.
Yeah.
Usually, I play in the lower octave mainly, and that's my money zone, I'd say.
Yeah, I want to play more chromatic too. Like.
Yeah, it's a completely different thing, right?
It's just better. It's easier to have like the overview of all the keys and stuff, and also easier to like pick it up during, or like in any situation basically, or like especially like also incorporating it like into pop music maybe, just to having that consistent tone like with the diatonic. If you want to add harmonica to a song, almost all of the time it has to be a solo or something, or like a melody. But like having a consistent tone over the whole range of the instrument on the chromatic enables you to whatever, just play some harmonica instead of adding trumpets or something.
Right. Yeah, I use it a lot as like combining it with bells or like high piano to make certain timbres.
Yeah.
My song Midnight Escapade, the main line is played by harmonica, but it's sort of disguised. But yeah, I use it in a production sort of way a lot.
Yeah, that's my thought right now too. Like I'm producing more and more, and like I don't want to force a diatonic harmonica solo on every track. Like it doesn't serve the song.
Yeah, totally. Don't want too many harmonica solos, but there are interesting, cool ways to use it in non-solo ways. But I get what you're saying. Diatonic is harder to fit in than chromatic.
Yeah. Harmo Active writes, "Hello, it's been very interesting talk, and the jazz tune was an interesting experience." An interesting experience. Okay. Jake,
I should have used headphones. I think that would have solved it.
Maybe with the white noise, yeah. Yeah, Jake, play some harmonica, please.
Okay, I should get headphones right now because the same thing's going to happen, I think.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
So
I'm just going to start an ad and talk about the upcoming harmonica challenge.
Okay, cool.
Which is a solo harmonica challenge with YouTube harmonica legend Adam Gussow. So the only rule is, yeah, you just aren't allowed to play along to backing track, whatever. It has to be harmonica only. Maybe you can snap along, but stylistically, everything's possible. And it's going down on June 26th on my Twitch channel, which is also linked in the description box below. Yeah, really looking forward to your submissions. Obviously, since Adam Gussow is our guest, you can win one of 3 Hohner Marine Band classic harmonicas. That's
Nice.
the ad.
Okay, can you hear me still?
Yeah, perfectly.
Okay, cool. Let me just answer Miles. He said, never knew it was harmonica, the Midnight Escapade lead. Yeah, so it's that plus vocals. That's the main thing. It's like, plus harmonica plus, I think there's like a synth or two. But harmonica is definitely a big part of like the bendiness of it.
Okay, yeah. Which, do you have like any microphone that you prefer to use for harmonica? Like recording or on stage?
No, just any. Well, for recording, I always use a condenser, and the secret is cutting out all the highs with
Definitely.
with a steep high cut filter, like 48 dB down, like a thing.
Yeah.
Down pretty low to like 10K or 8K. Is this like a known trick? Does everyone do that?
I don't know. I feel like there should be more harmonica players doing it.
Well, yeah, it's the key. It's why what I'm about to do is going to sound bad because I don't have that filter on there.
And also, I mean, Soothe, the plugin, if you know that,
Yes,
does a
yes.
similar thing. I mean, it's worth it putting it on harmonica sometimes.
Right. So yeah, it's that, and then a good reverb, a pretty long, like plate reverb, which also I'm not going to have with what I do
Yeah.
right now. So the combination of that is just always money. All right, I'm going to play My Foolish Heart, which I did on my live EP, which is out. Can you hear this?
Yes.
Can you hear this? Do they sound decently balanced?
Yeah.
All right. Is it happening? The white noise?
No.
Great. I heard it a little, but cool.
Wonderful. Some actual some actual piano playing on the Hohner Live.
Yeah.
That's good. And Miles says, no white noise. Jake is twice the harmonica, the piano player I'll ever be when he uses just one hand.
Thanks, Miles. The white noise happened, right?
But just a
little?
little.
Just a little. Okay, yeah.
It was nice.
It's very weird.
It was the type of white noise that we would mix in to
That's
an
right.
actual
It's a production. It's a production choice. Yeah. Yeah. So that's the double thing. Part of that came to be because when I was 16 or so, I was doing a summer music program, and I hurt my right finger on my right hand really bad. So I was like, it was bandaged up, and I couldn't use my right hand. So for a couple weeks, I only played left hand, and I ended up having to do like a concert of just left hand because I heard it towards the end of the program. So like in the final week, we had to do that. So yeah, I worked really hard at it and learned a lot about how that works and how to sort of make it sound like two hands sometimes. And then I sort of forgot about it. But then when I got the harmonica, it was like, oh, this is going to make sense. Like I just play like I used to play, when my hand hurt, and now I can play melodies over it.
That's
So,
interesting
that's
because
how-
like I know about some piano players that actually started playing harmonica because they hurt their hand.
Yeah.
Or they were afraid that like they're gonna hurt their hands and can't play anymore.
I see.
And they thought
Do you-
like playing harmonica would be like one of the few instruments that you could play without hands, like playing in the rack or something.
Yeah, totally. Do you know that chromatic harmonica that's hands free?
Hands-free chromatic harmonica.
Yeah, there's like this thing that someone builds where like the mouthpiece moves, so you can like use your chin to like move it up and down.
You use your chin. Wow. No, I don't know. About
I don't
that.
really know how it works, but check it out. It exists. It's like a very niche company, but I would think you would know it if anyone knows it.
Yeah, I mean, there's all sorts of stuff out there. There's also a guitarist who's amazing, a fingerstyle guitarist, and he built something so he could just like push the button with his feet, basically.
Oh, wow.
So
All
he
right.
plays guitar and he plays the chromatic harmonica at the same
Yeah.
time.
See, that sounds really cool because then I could use two hands on the piano. But yeah, I think it's fine as it is for now. Also, probably there's something I really like about the limitation of one hand on piano. Yeah, it means I can't play too fast, which is good for harmonica too because I can't play fast on that either. It works.
Yeah. Yeah, it's also part of the magic doing this live. Just having to deal with that.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. I want to get into that visualization aspect too. Even more. Like, I sometimes
Okay,
do
yeah,
it.
let's talk about
but
that. I like talking about that.
Of course, it's
any
different, like
specific-
having all different key diatonic harmonicas with you.
Oh yeah, that's something completely different.
So I can do
couldn't
it on the C harmonica, but probably not on the other keys.
So on the other keys, do you think of it in C and transpose, or how do you do it?
Basically, yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that's the only way I could imagine. Like if I had a chromatic in a different key.
Does make sense
I
to
would-
learn 12 different instruments.
Right. But if I did have one in a different key, I would just have to switch it and be like, okay, I'm actually playing in this key. I don't have perfect pitch, so it wouldn't be that hard to do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, the learning it was mostly about really figuring out what notes are blow with the button and what aren't. Like it's just so at the beginning, for those of you who don't know about chromatic harmonica, there's a couple different ways to play some of the notes. C and F has a way to play it with the button in and with the button out. So I just completely ignored half of those and just like simplified it into there's only one way to play each note, which was good. So I spent
Okay, yeah.
a bunch of years like that, only using the button out note for everything except the ones that I had to, which is D flat, E flat, which is the black keys. So all the white keys were in the button out, and then the black keys are in the button in. So when it works like that, it really seems like a piano, you know? And there's only 5 notes you have to remember with the button in, and 2 of them are out, and 3 of them are in. So once you really figure that out and know exactly which ones are out and in, then you just slide around until you find it, and it gets easier. And then later I started to incorporate the other ways to play the notes, the C's and the F's. So yeah, I've realized now that the reason why there's 2 ways, or one of the reasons, is that it's like fingering on piano. There's like an easy way and a hard way with every line you play. So you just have to understand how to choose it in real time. And with C, there's actually 3 different ways to play it because there's 2 blowout C's in a row. There's 2 in a row, plus the inhale one, which is with the button. So I still don't really understand that. Like I don't know.
It
which
also
C
confuses me.
when I'm doing a blowout C, I don't really know which one I'm on, which is the main reason that I make mistakes all the time. Because if you don't know which one you're on, it means that when you inhale, you don't know whether you're going to get a D or a B. In other words, This note, when you inhale, goes like this. And this note, when you inhale, goes. So there's two different options. And if you don't know which one you're on, you just have to make a little sound and then understand which one it is and move if you have to.
Yeah.
So that's the next thing for me, is really figuring out those C's, because I recognize that it's like not acceptable as if I consider myself.
I mean,
a
on the
player.
diatonic, you also have like one note that's repeated, which is
Right.
a G on the C harmonica.
Oh, it is?
On 2-hole draw and on 3-hole blow.
Okay. Cool. But does it repeat the C when you go up the octave, or
Oh,
no?
no, it doesn't.
It doesn't. Okay.
So the chromatic harmonica is basically the diatonic, like the middle octave of the diatonic repeated.
Over and over again. Yeah.
So that's how I think about the chromatic then. I just think about the middle octave basically of the diatonic.
And then
I
but-
can I can play in some keys, like some easy keys.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's easy to play in C minor.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I guess I've spent a lot of time playing in different keys. That's a big part of what I do. But because I don't see it as numbers, like I don't think of the first hole as 1, I think of it as C.
Yeah.
So the keys are all the same, really. I mean, some are a little harder than others, but it's not that big a difference because I see it like piano. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I know, like if it's an A flat, I know where A flat is. Instead of like, okay, it's like the 4th hole with the thing, it's just like, I know it's a
Yeah.
blowout. And
Yeah, I just try to take advantage of like the structural things that I know.
Right. Oh, yeah, you know the harmonica way better than me, so you understand it in a different way.
But did you have any teacher or lessons on your harmonica path? Not at all?
I took one diatonic lesson pretty early on, but
Okay.
it didn't click. Like,
Who
he
was
just
the teacher?
gave me a book. I don't know, someone in New York.
Okay.
I forget. He just gave me like a book that had like a bunch of blues isms, but it was pretty far removed from like music. You know what I mean? Music that I felt. And yeah, just watching videos of toots was what did it. Like, there's so much you can learn from really studying how someone looks when they play. Like how to get good tone. You can see it when in certain views of him. Like when people start playing, they play like this. They make a really tiny hole in the front of their mouth, and you hear all this air escaping. And when you watch toots, like the harmonica's way in his mouth, like that.
Yeah.
And so once I saw that, I was like, okay, so what I'm doing is all the way wrong. It's not about making a tiny hole in the front. It's like goes way deep in your mouth, and then the hole is like in your soft, like wet part of your lips rather than the front. And furthermore, your lips have to be relaxed. They're not like tense to make the tiny hole.
So are you a lip purser, or did you also check out the tongue blocking technique?
Oh, I don't know anything about that.
Okay.
I mean, I guess. So what, you put the tongue on either side like a hole or groove?
Oh, this is a little harmonica lesson for you.
Yeah.
I mean, I also started out playing lip pursing only.
Do people do the tongue thing on chromatic?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. I had no idea.
Especially for like bigger jumps between holes. Because you could
Oh.
either play through the left side or the right side of your mouth.
Oh my God. Does toots do that?
I'm not sure. I don't think so.
I think so. I've watched him a lot, and I guess I've never noticed a weird tongue thing. It just
But like even on the diatonic, you can do some crazy stuff with it.
Stevie doesn't do it, right?
I think Stevie plays with the lip pursing technique, yeah.
Right. Okay. So my two idols don't do the tongue, so I don't need it. But I'll still pay attention.
But like for the diatonic, it's like a thing, especially for blues players,
Okay.
to get that dirt in there and like just make use of the chordal possibilities and maybe play some accompaniment for either whatever German folk music, that stuff.
Oh wow. Okay. So explain that.
Yeah,
That was
I
your
mean-
tongue.
I'm playing. Usually, you play through the right side of your mouth, and I have like 3 holes in my mouth, and I'm covering up the left 2 of the 3. Yeah.
Okay, give me
Yeah,
a
if you
second.
start out on the chromatic, like having holds 1, 2, and 3 in your mouth, and then I put my tongue on holds 1 and 2, and you only play the G through the whole 3 blow to the right side of your mouth.
One second. Let's take a deep.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, it's a pretty wide amount of holes. All right, feels pretty weird.
That's how you get like all this stuff on the diatonic, like
Oh.
accompaniment. Or
Okay, so it's a big deal.
you could play octaves and like play through both sides of your mouth.
Right.
And move them independently.
Yeah.
And
Damn, that's crazy.
you could like make big jumps on chromatic harmonicas too, using that technique.
I don't belong here.
So like the talk blocking technique is definitely worth to check out.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I don't have aspirations to play more than one line at a time, although that's amazing. But I would like to know how to do the blues thing. That sounds awesome.
That's nice. I mean, the blues thing that you usually do on the chromatic is like playing in D minor,
Okay, show me that.
because you got the chord, right? The D minor 6
Right.
chord.
Yeah.
And usually blues players do take 5 holes in their mouth on the chromatic.
Okay.
So that's a lot. And then you cover up the middle 3 of them.
That's like 8 holes.
Yeah.
Boom. Okay, you cover up the middle 3.
So you can play D and D on the draw, 1 hole draw and 5 hole draw. Yeah.
Okay, now what?
Yeah, that's the blues key to play in on the chromatic.
Okay, it makes
And it's always like there's that little slap in front of the octaves, like usually. People
What's
play
the
slow
slapping?
blues. Yeah, just like starting out with the chord and then
Oh,
quickly putting the tongue on the 3 holes in the middle.
okay.
Stuff like that.
Yeah,
Like I never
yeah.
practiced that.
I've heard that sound though. That's
Something like that.
yeah. All right. Crazy.
I mean, that's an advantage. You can always play octaves.
right. Yeah, that's a big deal, huh?
But yeah, starting out practicing that, like, you're probably gonna hurt your lips.
Right. Yeah.
That's what I did.
I don't think I ever need to play an octave. I just want to play good lines,
Yeah.
just monophonically. But it is. I play in thirds sometimes in certain keys. That's really nice. But yeah, that's not really an extended technique. It's just making your mouth a little wider.
Yeah, but still, like, making it sound good, like with a warm tone. That's something
Right.
different than.
Right. Yeah.
Because all that
Yeah.
stuff can sound a little more like a musical instrument.
Right. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, tongue blocking.
tongue blocking. Check it out, folks.
There are some harmonica players who use the tongue blocking technique only. There's a huge fight between lip pursing players and tongue blocking players.
Well, but the
and tongue blocking players say that their tone is bigger and warmer.
Okay, but Toots and Stevie have the best tone ever, so.
Yeah, that's chromatic. Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Right.
But also, if you talk to like blues players playing chromatic, yeah, there would also be the tone blocking fraction.
Right.
Yeah, but these are the two techniques to use playing the single note. There are some players who use the U blocking technique.
Okay, that makes sense, I guess.
But that's a little limited because like your tongue is like completely, you can't do anything with it.
Yeah,
you can't articulate it anymore.
How do you bend a note?
I don't know.
Not very easily, I don't think.
Yeah.
And bending a note is everything to me. That's like why you play a harmonica instead of a melodica. That's the other thing.
True.
That's why, like, I had a melodica, and I realized eventually, like, I put sort of a lot of work into it. I was like trying to bend notes, which you can sort of do by pressing the key halfway down and blowing really hard. But at a certain point, it's like, this is just, it sounds bad, and it's supposed to sound like a harmonica, so let me just learn what I'm trying to play.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of pianists play melodica because they want to sound like harmonica, but it's just not even close.
So in which other situations do you play harmonica? Like, what were some situations where you had to play harmonica in the studio, or where somebody asked for some harmonica?
Yeah, I played in the studio sort of a lot. I always have it with me, so if there's a recording going on and I hear it somewhere, and I hear in my mind that there should be harmonica, I always bring it up. And usually I'm like one of the few people who can do it.
Yeah.
Like, was in the session, so it's a big win usually. Also, if I like to sit in at a jazz type of situation and play a ballad on harmonica. That's always it always like makes people pay attention, and it allows me to play with pianists that I love. I play a lot with Larry Golding on harmonica, whereas like it wouldn't really make sense for us to play two pianos at the same time, or well, it would if there were two pianos, but like four hands on one piano is just not great when one person can easily control the whole piano. And by control, I mean beast on it, like Larry can. I would rather play a melody and have him play under me. Yeah, so that's when I use it.
Oh, yeah, okay. That's great. And besides harmonica, like if we would look into your Spotify playlist, like what kind of music are you listening to right now?
That's a good question. I've been into this guy, V. Keys, who's a gospel musician.
Okay.
His album, Clarity 2016, has been changing me a lot. So definitely check that out. His song, You Lead, which was shown to me by Devin Morrison, who's an amazing artist. Yeah, shout out.
V. Keys. I'm going to check him out, yeah.
Yeah, I guess I haven't been that into new music lately, which is partly my own thing and mostly my own thing. There's a lot of amazing new music, but I'm just not in that zone right now. I guess I listen to a lot of jazz these days. John Scofield's new album, actually, that's music. Like, it's a solo album. He's one of my favorites. So yeah.
And how about the harmonica scene in New York? Like, do you know any other players?
I don't know anything about it. No.
Okay.
I'm not part of it at all.
That's funny.
I mean, like, I'm not legit like they are probably. Like, I don't know which C I'm on, you know? Yeah. I just view it as like a way to make a beautiful melody more than like an instrument that I'm like wrapped up in.
Yeah.
Just a fun thing to understand. It's like a math problem.
But that's the thing. It's all about the melody. Anytime. Yep. Nice comment by Hank. Toots didn't use tongue blocking, true, but that's probably somebody you could check out. Robert, I don't know how to pronounce his
I don't
second
know who
name.
that is.
Bonfiglio. He plays classical music on the chromatic too, and he does all the tone blocking techniques there and tricks that you can imagine.
Cool. Yeah, I wonder if there's more tricks that I could utilize that would be musical, that would fit. I'm sure there are.
Yeah.
But mostly I just want to get better with understanding.
Maybe applying some melodica techniques to the harmonica and pushing the slider halfway.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. I do that once in a while. Yeah, there's cool things to do with that. Let's see. That's a thing. I haven't heard many people do that. Yeah, true. What else? Cleaning the harmonica is something I don't do. I should probably get
Same
into
here.
that. Gross.
But the thing is, it actually plays better
when you don't clean it.
When you don't clean it, yeah.
Yeah, the few times I've cleaned it, then it starts breaking.
Okay.
But when I put water through it, even after I dry it out, it's just not the same.
Yeah, especially if the comb is made of wood. If there's some dried saliva in there, it's good.
Gotcha.
It's way more airtight.
Right, it makes it swell a little. Do you know where I can get the little sleeve that go? Well, maybe this is not a Hohner specific question, because this might not be a Hohner, but the little plastic sleeve that goes in the screw. You know what I'm talking about?
The plastic sleeve that goes in?
Because I took mine apart and lost the plastic sleeve, and now there's an air leak because of that.
Oh, wow. I'm not sure. I only have this Hohner, and I'm not sure if there's even a plastic
Okay, so
thing
Hohner's
there.
better because there's no plastic.
I'm not sure.
Secondly, do you use oil on the slide?
Oh, yeah.
Really? Okay, I don't. So maybe I need to get that. Is that a thing that everyone does?
Yeah, I mean, some players don't care. And then you sometimes hear the slide, the noise of the slide,
mine is you can hear mine for sure.
Yeah.
It's not the best. And it has a little stuck place.
Yeah, but some players really take care of the instruments and use the oil regularly and stuff.
So you can just get that oil anywhere, or is it a harmonica oil, or it's something else?
I guess you can get it everywhere, but of course you can get it on the Hohner C Shop, everybody.
Oh yeah, there we go. It's $30 extra there.
Yeah, but I do use it too. It really makes sense.
Okay, I guess it's time then.
Yeah. And I mean, I only play the chromatic if people want me to, or if they want the Stevie Wonder sound.
Right.
And this is very useful for this.
Oh yeah, that's a fancy one, huh?
Yeah, that's this one is easier to bend. More extreme bends are possible, I guess.
Okay, can they give me that for free? Because I did this. Oh wow!
It sounds.
All right.
The sound is
So, yeah.
It sounds a little more like plastic, but you can bend it further. It's
Sounds good to
more
me,
closer
yeah.
to the Stevie Wonder. And you got to be careful not to bend too much.
Mine does that too. Yeah. That low note sounded like a diatonic, the way you bend it.
Oh, okay.
The way you
Yeah.
did the bottom.
Yeah, you can. That's pretty low.
I can do that.
Oh, this is broken. Oh, that's pretty low too. But yeah, it's a different sound.
Yeah. That one wins, I think.
At least for the Stevie Wonder sound, yeah.
Okay, so I'll take one of those for free for doing this interview.
Okay, I'm gonna ask Hohner.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, that would make a lot of sense. I mean, this is also great for you. Like, it's easy to clean and open.
Oh,
like
cool.
you just can get rid of this
Oh, wow.
without any other stuff, and then the whole body and like the reed plates just come out of the instrument. So it's very easy to repair, and the maintenance is
cool.
But it also, like, if you
big. It's big, right? Can I hold it in one hand? Is it too big?
Oh no, you can definitely hold it in one hand. My hands are comparably small.
Okay.
Yeah, how would you do that? Like playing with a...
I think I use my thumb. Wait. No, I don't use my thumb. I do it like this.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I do know some players who do the same thing and they use their thumb. Yeah.
No, because then you can't play the high notes. But
yeah.
Cool.
I will
Any
ask
other
for
questions?
it.
Thanks. Thank you. Any other questions in the chat?
Yeah, let us know. I mean, otherwise you can check out the description box. Check out Instagram. Follow us there. Follow Jake for upcoming 2 dates in Europe. And you probably have the US dates posted already.
US dates, not yet, but they're coming next week. Hopefully.
Okay.
That's going to start very soon. June 17th, I think it starts. So got to post that soon.
Wonderful. Next Hohner Live, June 30th. We still got some time, everyone. Jakob Wendt from Denmark is joining us next time.
Cool.
Thank you so much, Jake, for joining us today.
Yeah,
that was fun.
Yeah, very fun. Thank you.
Thank you for taking the time. And let's get you one of these.
Yeah, get me a few of them. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Have a wonderful day or good evening from wherever you're tuning in. Bye-bye.